Welcome to Dynamite Delight. Just to say this, if I look tired, I am. I now have files installed in my apartment. I just got to cancel my cable, which I'm going to do tomorrow. It was a long time to wait, getting it set up, and then having to call them to change my service because they were giving me too much, and I didn't ask for it. It was, customer service for Verizon is annoying. But the service itself, okay. Let's do Dynamite Delight. Now, let's do the most important thing. Fuck AEW. Gotta do it. No mention of Don Callis being fired. No Moose. No Sami Callihan. Nothing. And I know people are going to say, dude, they're probably only doing it for Impact Wrestling. It don't matter. It's not working. This is what people don't get. This is not really benefiting AEW. Where's AEW getting something from Impact Wrestling? Tell me. You guys tell me below. What is AEW getting out of this from Impact? I haven't heard their shares going up. They are now seen on Access TV. And now they're also seen on TNT. Did their viewership go up? No. And yes, sports is going on. That's the reason why I had to change today, which is a dead time for them. But it's not the point. You would think that people would tune in. They're not. And Impact, what are they getting? What are they getting? I still don't even see what they're getting from New Japan Pro Wrestling with Kojima compared to what they're getting from a Kenny Omega. I'm hoping things work out, but I'm not going to lie here. I don't see it. I was very enthusiastic when this first started. I knew where it was going, but it was all about presentation for both companies to their fans. And the fans, if they don't know what's going on, when they finally find out, they get pissed. And the fans who do know are already pissed. So I don't see anything out of this agreement. Nothing. Now, I'm not going to be heavily detailed, but I am going to say that a lot went on in this show. I'm not talking about the beginning of the show because that was the thing that was the most interesting for me personally. Let's move on to everything else. We had Darby Allin versus the Men of the Year. I don't know where they're going with this. Honestly, I don't. Are they trying to break up Darby Allin and Sting? Are they trying to put dissension into Sting through Darby Allin? I don't know. I'm still not happy to see Scorpio Sky, who should have been a heel from the very beginning and working a heel thing instead of being a face because he isn't that great as a face. Ethan Page, who's a good damn heel, but just left the North. And I don't understand why they stuck them together. I don't get it. They both can have good characters, but they stuck them together because, well, they got nothing for them to do. Now, mind you, they're trying. They are trying, and they're doing not a bad job for many people. But for me personally, I don't want to see Ethan Page team up with somebody. He needs to be by himself. Scorpio Sky, he should have been allowed to develop his character as a heel by himself for a while before even teaming with anybody. So for me personally, it sucks. Even though they are doing decent work as a heel tag team. They won. What do you want? I didn't expect that they weren't going to win. I knew they were going to win. Yes, Darby Allin looked very good while doing it, but still, the Men of the Year won. Where do you gain anything? I'm just saying. Orange Cassidy against Bononi, who had by his side the Wingmen. Now, since I don't see Dark, I don't know how they work the Wingmen gimmick, so I don't know what's going on. Nimitz, I gotta say this about Nimitz, Dolph Ziggler's brother. I will not say he's boring. He does have charisma. But because he's very rarely seen on Dynamite, I don't know how his character worked with that charisma. Now, hopefully when the new show, which they need to change it from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, they need to go ahead and head to SmackDown. They got no choice. Going from 10 to 11 is a dead time. Look how Dynamite is. They need to change the time from 10 to 8. Hopefully he gets thrown on there and then we can actually see, because I am considering doing Rampage. I am considering it. But it's going to depend on if it looks good or not. I'm not sure how many episodes I'll do, counting on if they're going to really do something with Rampage. Because this just could be just matches, no character development, no showing up new people who have developed enough on Dark or Elevation. If they don't do none of that and it's just matches, I'll lose interest very quickly. I'm just going to forget all about it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Kenny confronting Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy acting like an idiot. Because Kenny's saying, you see me? No suits, no tie, no title, no nothing. Because they are talking in the back. He says, I'm mad now. You embarrassed me. Now I want to fight with you. In fact, I'm putting my hands behind my back and I'm letting you have the first shot. And Jungle Boy is stupid enough to fall for that, like a face should. Ugh. I don't like that trope. I'm sorry, guys. I don't like it. It's a meme. It's a trope. It's stupid. You don't have to act like a stupid face. A good guy every time and no matter what company. Sometimes, yes, it's all right to be a little dumbfounded or a little ditzy. But not every time. Particularly a Jungle Boy who should be more experienced. Yes, he's not a very old wrestler. But at least he should know Kenny's going to plan something. And yes, he got some hits in and Kenny ran like a bitch. But still, I'm just saying. I just want to say Jade Cargill is looking good. She's got more endorsements. I'm wondering how far they're going to go with this. Her getting endorsements. And yes, she doesn't need to go in the ring all the time, but they need to do something more with her. She needs to go in the ring. Hopefully she will next week, which is supposed to be on a Saturday, I believe. I think. Now, FTR as well as the Inner Circle's Santana Ortiz had good segments. Both saying which parts of the world they were living in, saying what type of life they were living in. One in North Carolina, their world, and New York, their world. And I did enjoy the dynamic of it. The question is going to be this. Is Santana Ortiz going to have one person extra? If they're not, it's still the Inner Circle. Fine. And you know who I'm talking about? I'm talking about Conan. I don't think he's working with them. And I'm glad he's not. Because Conan's own personality always overwhelmed them in Impact Wrestling. I want them separate. But here, they both sounded great. Both teams sounded great. Now the question is, when are they going to start doing the business? And then finally reaching when they're going to go after the tag titles and each other. That's why I think it should be. But I know they're going to meet each other well before then because a feud between the Pinnacle and Inner Circle is going on. I wish they would meet when it's time for both teams to try and fight for the titles. I don't care if Inner Circle gets the titles through Santana Ortiz. I don't care if FTR gets the titles. One of them got to get the titles and then they really meet one another in the ring. Where it really means something. But that's just me. Let's get this one over with. We got Cody and Brock versus QT Marshall and Solo. I believe his name is Solo. Aaron Solo, I believe. Here's the thing. Do I think Brock is good? Brock Anderson is not bad. He does seem to be green. A little sloppy. But he does seem to have some potential. But putting him in this position, I don't agree with. You know why? His daddy gave him this shot. Usually second generation wrestlers always get this rub. Now, it doesn't mean they don't have talent. They hadn't, well beforehand, maybe some, not all, went for the independents and worked their way up. I don't know if Brock did that. If he did, he's been working 4, 5, or 6 years on the independents by himself without any influence from his dad, no problem. But if he's been working at the Nightmare Factory, the Nightmare Factory, or the dojo for Cody Rhodes, and he decided to do it this, I do not agree. He should have stayed on Dark. He should have stayed on Elevation. They showed snippets of him on Dark and Elevation. He goes when he's ready to Rampage. Him being here now is wrong. Because sooner or later, he's going to have to back up everything that Art has done in his life. And it's going to be on a show that Art has helped to craft. And, not craft. It's frustrating me because when it comes down to it, if this is a platform for second generation wrestlers to get a shot really quick without going through the indies unless they had, it looks bad. It's going to be no better than WWE. It's going to be no better than WCW. You wanted a show that was different, and I don't agree with it like this, but that counts on if he didn't go through the indies first. If he hasn't, this is going to end badly. People are not going to like Art, no matter if it's heel or face, unless they do some really hard work with him and he can maintain it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Orange Cassidy versus Benoni. No, I know I didn't say anything about Benoni, but I need to say it now because I forgot. You can hear the rasp in my throat because of my allergies. Sorry, if you hear it, nostrils are stopped up, my throat's stopped up. If I sound funny, my allergies are bad. Pollen in my area is this big. This freaking big. I live near trees there's 2 churches where I live. And it's this big. Anyway, the match, when you see Orange Cassidy try to they tried to do makeup on him. They tried to make him look like something. And I'm going like, why are you doing this on Dynamite? Why? And where was Best Friends? They were in the back, and then eventually got sick of it, came out to the ring, and then helped him out, and then they started running in the ring, and eventually Orange wins over Benoni, who is what? Benoni should not be jobbing so badly. I don't even know if he's good as a character. He can job all right, but really? To Orange Cassidy. Yes, Orange is hot. Orange is hot. But seeing another big guy get his butt kicked so easily by a little guy easily was wrong. At least with Darby Allin, it took 2 guys and Darby got his ass kicked multiple times before the match, so there was a story. Here, I don't agree. That's just me. Now, we had the Andrade Ilios. I believe I'm pronouncing it right. I could be wrong. Interview. What I loved the most about this interview wasn't about the context, because he did what most people would do. Want to make it clear, this is why I'm here. I'm going after the TNT title. I'm going after the world title. I am a classy man. I am teamed up with a great woman in Eddie Guerrero's wife, Vicky Guerrero, who is royalty. Things like that, no problem. The thing for me, because he still doesn't speak very good English, what they did, and you see my face, I believe I caught it, subtitles for an Andrade. That is something WWE refuses to do. Impact did it, and now AEW is doing it. I commend them. You need to do that for wrestlers who can't speak English, no matter if it's Spanish they speak, French, German, Japanese. Make sure they have something you can see and understand. Yes, they did it with the Japanese wrestler, but this is the first time with wrestlers who just came in who's Spanish. Because yes, they done it with Pentagon Jr. because he doesn't speak great English. But he just came in and they got this done. And I agree 100% with it. I'm happy. Now, we got Penelope Forbes versus Julia Hart. 19 years old, who used to be a cheerleader competitively. Now, I've never really been really big on cheerleading competitions. But I have heard they are fierce. It's not a lie that if you want to really go through pressure, Become a cheerleader. They don't play around. The stress of being a cheerleader, male or female, is not a joke. It is very, very, very competitive. You could crack from what I've been told. Was this a good match? The thing that got me was Penelope. I hadn't seen her in months, either because she was injured or she was on Dark or Elevation for quite a long time before they brought her back up. Her husband is still hurt. He can't be seen. So he's probably playing video games on Twitch. I haven't checked. But seeing her there and winning the way she did shows they're trying to push her again, which is fine. We need more strong women who got character, who is good to okay in the ring. She's okay to good in the ring. And she has a dominating character with charisma. I have no problem with that. So I'm glad to see it. Now we go to Britt Baker with a Rebel and a Vicky Guerrero. Vicky comes in saying she wants that title, saying she's gone to Tony Khan because she got Andrade to come in. Now they're going to have a match on the 30th when Dynamite is live again on the normal time period. She's going to get in the ring with Nia Rose versus Britt Baker and Rebel. You know she ain't going to do a damn thing in that ring. But at least it will be something. You really want to make Vicky Guerrero mean something, because let's make this clear. Vicky Guerrero has not had a really strong presence on Dynamite. Yes, maybe on Dark, maybe on Elevation. Now with Andrade there, she needs more of a stronger role, particularly with Nia Rose. So this is the reason why they did it. We got Kaz, Eddie Kingston, and Penta versus Matt of the Bucks and the Good Brothers. I'm going to say this. I don't like six-man tags when they don't have any major purpose. This felt like it was random. Yes, you got the Death Triangle who wants to do something against the Bucks. Yes. You got Kaz, who is the Elite Hunter, who wants to nail the Elite. Yes. But teaming them up didn't feel like it was important enough. I'm sorry, yes. I love Kaz. Kaz is one of the guys I love next to Orange Cassidy and Pac, because he's that damn good. But he needs more. They needed more. You know what it is? They needed a six-man title. No, a three-man title, like the Triple Championship of AAA. No, the Trios Championship of AAA. That's what they really need. They need another title to do something with the tag division, because they do a lot of six-man tags. Give three men a title. I'm not fond of it. I don't like six-man tags all the time, but they do it all the time. If you're going to do it all the time, make a title for it. So the heels won. I'm not complaining, because I didn't really care that much about the match. Yes, Kaz does get a good rub here. Yes, Penta as well as Kingston gets a good rub, but it doesn't really help them much because they got their butts beat by the Elite again, which it's supposed to. Finally, the thing that was the most interesting to me, the cage match of Hager and Wardlow. The cage. That's what I'm calling it. Was this a good MMA stylish match? Yes. You got a couple of kicks that look somewhat legitimate, pretty stiff. You got some holds that look like real MMA holds. They did a couple of hard punches to make it look decent. Doesn't mean it was real, because we know they weren't really trying to do it. They were still scripted. Look what they were doing. At one point during the match, they started doing regular pro wrestling moves, which the fans did not like. The fans did not like seeing pro wrestling moves in an MA-styled like match. For me personally, I knew it was going to happen. They were going to revert to doing pro wrestling moves in the octagon. They had to. If they were going to do a real MMA match, then they should have gone to UFC or Bellator or F1 and do it there. We knew this was not going to be a real match. And the crowd didn't like it when they started seeing pro wrestling moves from Wardlow or Jake Hager. They really wanted to see real moves. For me personally, it was all right. it was something that Impact Wrestling did with Kurt Angle and Samoa Joe. I've seen scenes of it, but it was well before my time watching Impact. More than just seeing a pay-per-view or two that I got on DVD. It was an okay match. I don't know about anyone else. They may not have liked it. For me personally, I did like it because it was interesting. They used an actual octagon. Even though, what was it? Not Alicia, what is it? Audrey Edwards was used instead of an actual kind of an MMA guy, which I kind of wish they had let the guy who did the checking beforehand do the match instead of Audrey, even though I know Audrey should. It would have made it even more authentic as possible. In the end, Wardlow got beat. Hager wanted to give him a little bit of respect. And then members of the Inner Circle came in, beat the crap out of him. Dean Malenko came in, who has Parkinson's, because I did see his hand shake. And he tried to stop the fighting. He tried to stop MJF. MJ backed off, but still whacked him in the face. I give props to Dean Malenko, who does have Parkinson's. I believe he's got it. And he isn't functional like he normally is in the ring anymore. But taking a hit once in a long while, that's okay as long as he doesn't get too badly hurt. He should be alright. And I felt that this was the best thing in the match. And this was the best thing in the show. Particularly, it opened the show, not closed it like it would normally be for anything else. I was actually surprised that it opened, not closed. So it wasn't bad for me. Was this a good show overall? It wasn't bad. It was okay. It was solid. I'm not saying that everyone's going to like what was on the show, but it wasn't bad at all. And I know I'm missing a couple of things from this show, but I'm leaving it alone because I want more time to see it develop if I don't mention anything. This time I remember them. It's just that this time I really feel like if I'm not mentioning certain things, I want to let them play out first a little bit more before I mention anything. But that's just me. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.